So in this video, I want to go over some tools that I use when it comes down to chopping up samples, because when I'm building a track, the last thing I want to do is spend time trying to figure things out, and then I just completely lose my momentum. So right now, I'm gonna go ahead and sample a song that I heard into the MPC, put some drums, and then just go over some of these tools. Let's get right into it. Once I have that, I'm going to go ahead and name this, hit do it, go into our editor. And right here in our editor, we are in our trim page. The trim page, there's actually two pages right here in our sample editor window. We have our trim page, which you can see in your lower left-hand side, and you bank through, then you have your chop page. Obviously, when you're in your chop page, you're ready to start chopping up your sample. But when you're in your trim page, we just want to trim our selection, or better yet, just select what we want to work with. Because as you can see, this is a very long sample. There's a lot of stuff in the beginning I don't want. There's a lot of stuff in the end that I don't want. I just want to have a good selection and trim out all the unwanted pieces. Now, the best way for me to start doing my selections, I like using these cue links. The first cue link, which is lit up red, is going to be my start point. And if I bank through, my second one is going to be my end point. And also, I like to just pinch to zoom to see where my selection is. As you can see right here, these pads are lit up yellow, red, and orange. You do not have to know every one of these pads and the functions that they do, but I will show you my favorite pad functions while I'm trimming. Pad 1 would just play through the whole entire sample from start to finish, and it will stop. Pad 2 will just give you a few seconds before your start point, just so you know where you're about to start. And now pad 3, this pad 3 is actually very important. This pad 3 will give you a few seconds before your end point. The reason why it does that is because if you have like a 4-bar loop, it takes a long time to play the whole entire loop. Let's say you want to just make sure you have the ending selection right. You don't want to play the whole entire 4 bars. You want to just play a few seconds before the end point to make sure you're landed where you want to land. Now, as you see, I'm also using my hands to go from my start point, end point, because this is just a lot. I'm not going to scroll through. This is going to take, it just takes too long. So I want to go ahead and use my finger to just bring it over here to the top. I already know right there is going to be somewhere where I'm going to select my start point. Now, once I'm there, I know it's somewhere around here. If I hit pad 1, boom. It's around right here where I want to start doing my first slice. So I'm going to go right here. Now I'm going to use pinch to zoom in right here and really dial in my downbeat. And now when I'm right here, I use these cue links. I don't want to use this first one because it's very sensitive right here and it goes too fast. The second one is a little more finer. I pinch to zoom right there. That's a good downbeat. As you notice, I keep hitting that first pad to make sure it's right on the downbeat. I'm actually going to select 3 bars out of this right here that I want to trim. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Again, remember, I don't want to play the whole entire 3 bars. I'm going to just use pad 3 to let me know a few seconds before the end point. I mean, I'm almost there. Luckily, I'm almost there, but I'm pinching to zoom. As you can see the waveforms, I'm going to bank through the second cue links, and bam, right here. You notice it just stops. It doesn't give me no clicks or pops, so it lets me know that is a good place to stop. Once I have that selection right here, and I feel like this is going to be where I have a perfect 3-bar loop, I'm going to hit pad 16. Pad 16 is just going to play the whole entire selection, and it's going to loop it. Perfect. I didn't notice a cut. I didn't notice a click or pop. It's a perfect 3-bar selection trim that I'm ready to trim down. I'm going to hit process and I'm going to discard that because now it's just going to give me that selection that I'm trimming. So I'm moving a little fast, but I want to show you some of these tools in the trim page. Now, before I jump in to the chop page, because I'm ready to start chopping this up, I do want to say thank you to today's sponsor, DistroKid. In this video, I want to go over promo cards and how to use promo cards. Once you sign in to your account, you just go to your main page, and when you scroll down, you're going to see some of these options. You got slabs, referral programs, hyper follow, and then you have promo cards. Select promo cards, and then it will bring you to this page right here where you could select a specific project that you've worked on. Once you select the project that you want, it will generate different types of promo cards that you can share on your social media platforms, such as Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, TikTok, and also having a good card to go alongside your music. As you scroll down, you see there's tons of different cards that you can select. Let's say I actually like this one right here. I go ahead and select it. As soon as I click it, it just downloads that card to my downloads folder on my computer. Once I have it right here, it's as simple as airdropping it to my smartphone. And once I have it on my phone, I could just open up Instagram, and on Instagram, I could start sharing a new story, select that promo card that we installed onto the phone, and once we select that, I can go ahead and search the song that I want to attach to it. And now, if you have not already done so, make sure you go down to the link of this video to receive 7% off your first year's membership with DistroKid. So make sure you sign up today. All right, so now I'm ready to start chopping up this sample. I'm gonna go from trim because I already did my selection, my trim, and I'm gonna go right into chop. And once I'm in chop mode, notice that this whole entire pad just changed. Now it's just all black pads right here, and I'm ready to start chopping. Now there's an option right here if I wanna manually chop, if I wanna use a threshold, region, or BPM. The only settings that I use here is either gonna be manual or region. Those two, manual or region, are the only settings that I tend to use, and I'll explain when I use one versus the other. In manual chop mode, every time you hit a pad, it just, notice how it turned into one right here. It just dropped a slice for me. It manually created a slice or a chop for me that got programmed in pad 1. And every time I hit the next pad, it's gonna create another slice or another chop wherever it is that I selected that next pad. 1, 2, 3, 4. Notice how I'm kind of counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm kind of going with the beat of the sample, and it's helping me know where I'm going to do those selections. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. I'm way off, but as you notice, this is a very fast tempo. So that's how I'll use the manual chop mode. But let me now show you. I'm actually going to erase these chops. I'm going to select the eraser, and I'm going to disregard these chops that we just created. And now I'm going to show you how I'll use regions. Regions is only used when I have a perfect 1 bar, 2 bars, 3 or 4 bars. When I've selected the perfect loop of however many bars, I go into region. In this case, we selected 3 bars, which 3 bars would give us a total of 12 slices or 12 beats. So if I know there's 12 beats in 3 bars, I want to go ahead and make 12 slices or 12 chops in my pads. So in order to select that, once you're in region, notice how it just made all these slices for you. I go right here where it says 16 regions. I don't want 16. Think of regions as slices or as chops that is doing. I don't want 16 chops. I want only 12 chops. I'm going to go from 16 to 12. Why? Because again, there is 12 beats in 3 bars. So now it automatically slices up for me, and it's actually perfectly on beat. That's a lot better versus what I was doing. The only reason why this works is because my trim selection that we did in the trim page was trimmed very, very accurate. So since I was able to trim it that way, these are giving me perfect slices. Now, if I was way off with my trimming, if I was trimming at, let's say 3 bars and a half, this thing might be way off. But since I was very accurate with my 3 bars and I checked and made sure that that was looping correctly, these regions are working very good for me. Now that we have that right here, I'm actually going to stick with this. I'm going to convert this into its own program. Go to Shift and Convert. Once I have that, I'm going to hit do it and go to my main page. And right here in track number 2, I'm going to look for those chops, which is right here. Once I have that, I'm ready to start moving forward. Now, that was what you guys came for, how to chop up and some tools that I use to slice some samples up. Now, go ahead and hang out with me for the next few minutes because we're going to put something together right here. I want to go ahead and have fun and now experiment and probably throw some drums on top of this and see what we come up with. One thing that we just noticed is that this sample, at least for me, is way too fast. Like, I want to slow that down because it's just really fast for me. So I'm going to go to my program editor. I'm going to pitch this down at about -4 semitones, and let's see how this sounds. Woo. Yeah. Oh my God. Okay, cool. So that actually sounds good for me. I want to see what BPM I'm at. So I'm going to tap tempo. Man, I'm gonna put it at 90 beats per minute. Let's see if we can rock with 90 beats per minute. And I'm gonna go ahead and lay that down and see what we have. That's cool. There's some like gaps in between. I'm gonna go my program or my program editor into samples, hit this, droplet, go to all, give it a tail length of 200 milliseconds. Now there's no more gaps in between. Yeah. Now let's jump over to track 1 as where we have our drums and start exploring a little bit with these drums. I'm gonna turn off quantize and just record something right here. What I'm using right now with these drums, matter of fact, if I go to my browse, we could see this drum kit that I have. This is for my Sample Pack Volume 3. If you have Sample Pack Volume 3, you could be using any other drums. It doesn't matter what you're using. But if you have Sample Pack Volume 3, I'm using kick 4, snare 1, hi-hat 1, and hat 11. That's all I have right here. I don't have a bunch of one-shots right here. These are the only ones that I'm using. I'm already rocking with this. I like how this feels. So just like that, when I'm chopping up samples, I start throwing some drums on top. And notice we're in 2 bars. If I could, I jump right back into my sample chop and I will extend this. I go to my sequence and I want to double length this so I could make the sequence longer, go back into my grid editor. And now that I'm in my sample chops, I can change things up. So let's say at the last 2 bars of this sample loop, I'm going to select my selection, my last 2 bars. So I'm going to disregard the first 2 bars and I'm going to switch things up here. I like that drum roll that's already in the sample. So maybe I want to throw that on the last bar and switch things up. Woo! Yeah. Nice. Oh, right here. I want this one to transpose into pad 11. So drop it up here. Bring this one up to pad 12. And this one that's already in pad 12, let's bring this one up to pad 8. And now that I'm there, I'll jump back to track 1 and maybe on the last 2 bars or on the last bar. And just like that, I go back to my main page and let's jump into track number 3 and let's look for some bass with a plug-in instrument. Go to bass lines. I'm gonna go to basic and I like this bass boost. Boom. Yes, that's it right there. But I'm going to bring it down an octave and make sure quantize is turned off. And let's put that right there. Yeah. Now, when you're connected in your zone, there is no better feeling than just moving and being able to execute. And after like 20 minutes or 30 minutes, you step back and you're just like, man, I can't believe I just put all this together. And again, you get that practice just by understanding some of the tools that this machine has to offer. Now, to me, this is so fun. Like, I'm having so much fun when I'm chopping this up. I enjoy this moment. I enjoy this time. This is the greatest feeling ever, and I know you can relate to this if you're somebody else watching this. Whatever it is that you're slicing up or chopping up, doesn't matter what kind of music you're making, you know the feeling when everything just connects. Now, one thing on a side note, first of all, I think each and every one of you for tuning in and watching this video till the end right here. But I have not been uploading as frequent as I have been in the past few months. This past month or two has been very, very busy for me as I am putting together a course for the MPC. And it's taken me a lot of my time throughout the day for me to film these videos, but I'm very excited to put this course out. This course is probably not out as of today as I'm launching this video, but I will leave a link down in the description, so be checking back in a few weeks later. But it's going to be a course of just me rocking the MPC, how I'm making music from start to finish, explaining. Now, I do my best to explain what I could, but these videos, I'm just throwing out random information, is not from start to finish. So I'm excited for me to release this video for anybody that wants to follow through as I'm explaining each and every one of these buttons and how I'm making beats. So that's very exciting for me. It's a very big project, but hopefully it is all wrapped up in a few weeks from now. And I'm just very excited to just share this with you. So make sure you stay tuned and be on the lookout. I will be announcing it once I do have it released. But as of right now, thank you so much for rocking with me in these YouTube videos. I'm always going to be pushing out free content within these videos. So be sure to subscribe if you're not already subscribed. So thank you so much. Y'all have a blessed day. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.